All right, switching gears here, let's talk a little bit about where former Democratic presidential candidate Andrew Yang is at right now. Melody Hom, you talked to him recently, and what is the state of the Yang world right now? He was such an interesting phenomenon through the fall. Here in New York, there's buzz that he will run to be the next mayor of New York City, but he's now a very important part, I think, of the conversation that's happening on the left with where everything goes. How does Yang see the world?
Yeah, and you can agree with his politics or not, but you cannot ignore the fact that pieces of his platform, namely UBI, have come up more frequently recently. They are no longer seen as fringe ideas in light of this pandemic. We know that Reps Ro Khanna and Tim Ryan argued for $2,000 per month for the duration of the crisis. Yang obviously is in support of that. He also said that he is talking to Jack Dorsey right now. Of course, we talked about Dorsey's pledge to give $1 billion of his Square equity into initiatives to be investing in things like UBI in the future. I did ask Yang, hey, what is the Yang Gang up to these days? We know that Yang is now a CNN contributor. He has his own nonprofit. He's really trying to still be part of the zeitgeist, of course, and he's launching a podcast, surprise, surprise, on Monday. And he's saying that he really hopes that the Yang Gang shows up for Biden come fall.
There was a poll that came out before I suspended that said 42% of my supporters would not support the Democratic nominee in the general. And this, to me, is the crucial block that Joe has to win over in order to win in those 6 states and around the country. And so, to me, the Yang Gang can play a pivotal role where we shore up this swing group, but also young digital natives. The fact is, Joe is weaker on the internet than Trump, and we can potentially help Joe with that. I am 100% committed to defeating Donald Trump in the fall and helping Joe in any way I can. And I don't think that 100% of the Yang Gang is going to come with me on that. But I think if we can turn the dial up so that greater than 58% of them do, we can be the difference maker in Joe's victory this fall.
Miles, let's be real here. 100% obviously is a lofty goal to begin with. I think there's going to be a lot of conversion issues with getting the Yang camp into Biden territory. Of course, Yang also made headlines a couple months ago when he was on the Breakfast Club program saying that Biden promised him a spot on the cabinet and that he had a position in government if he won. Of course, I clarified that question today in our interview, and Yang said, no, it's far from the truth. We obviously are talking to Biden. Biden sees our role as very useful in understanding the internet and how it works. But at the same time, there's no promise of that. He didn't at all suggest whether he's running for 2024 yet or whether that 2021 New York City mayoral race is in the works. But I imagine that it very well could be.
Yeah, it strikes me. It's kind of a flex to refer to Joe Biden as Joe and not
I know.
Vice President Biden or Biden. I mean, Joe, I guess they're good friends now. They debated 5 times and now they're close personal friends. All right, Melody, great conversation with the Yang Gang's leader there on Yahoo Finance earlier today.
Hey investors, Zach Guzman here. Are you interested in learning more about the markets and getting the latest financial news? Well, then click right here to subscribe to our Yahoo Finance YouTube channel. Get the latest up-to-the-minute market analysis, big interviews in the world of finance, and information on how to manage your money every day wherever you are.